at Bridgeport 3-1 to lift the Walker Cup knockout title at Constant Spring. JC, who were beating Bridgeport for the third time in as many games this season, were completing the Manning Walker Cup double in the same season for the first time in the school's history.
The game wasn't a pretty affair by any stretch of the imagination, but it slowly built up to a high midway the second half, when Bridgeport began taking charge. In fact, their playmaker, Jamiaca, who was always imposing, was denied by the woodwork. Bridgeport would be the more disappointed of the teams at half-time, as for the third time this season, their incursion on the JC defence proved fruitless. The deadlock was broken on the hour mark when JC's captain, Ashani Walker, who was having a toothless game before this, scored his 16th goal of the season via a free kick. And just a couple of minutes later, the prolific Nicholas Scott capitalised on a defensive blunder to slot home comfortably. Bridgeport got some consolation when Hardware converted an 85th minute penalty, and it would make the final few minutes interesting. But Walker then made the game safe for JC in time added on when he masterminded the goal of the game and one of the goals of the season. Bridgeport ended the game with 10 players after defender Tyshawn Rainford was sent off for violent conduct.
Yes, it was deserving. I think the guys worked very hard this year and they are deserving of what happened today.
Do you love to see the side of Bridgeport?
I just play football, you know. I don't really know who we're playing. We just go down to our thing, no matter who it is. Maybe it's a thing that Bridgeport make it affected them in this game, but we didn't make it a plan for us.
Again, you know, not scoring, you will lose game. And then we lose the discipline in the last about 5 minutes of the game. You know, once we just keep our discipline, we get back a goal and about 4 minutes to go. The back line should just keep their one zone and continue to play, but they carried away.
JC now await either Rassis or Lennon for the two-way Olivia Shield All-Ireland playoff on December 8 and 11. Donald Oliver, CVM Sports.
Former All-Islander champion St. George's College hosted a tryout for a number of the nation's schoolboy footballers seeking to impress American scouts. The scouts were also at the Constant Spring playing field on Wednesday, watching the Walker Cup knockout final.
So we're not the only school that does something like this, so we don't want to take all the credit. Other schools have had scholarship games, as we call them, and the idea is just to give these kids an option. They can get a scholarship here at the University of the West Indies, and they could go abroad if that's what they want to do.
The players from as far as western Jamaica had a knockaround at the University of the West Indies Tuesday evening, eager to make their mark. They were seeking to earn scholarships to either Bradley University in Illinois, Mercer University in Georgia, or Tulsa University in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the technical ability of a lot of the kids. Obviously, not all these kids play together all the time, so the game isn't as cohesive as you know, if you're watching a regular team play. But you can see their individual technical ability as well as their speed.
We have one Jamaican player. His name is Richie Edmondson, and he went through the New England prep schools, and that's how we got heard of him and saw him play. And he's a sophomore now on our team.
Right now we're looking for attacking players that play in the wide parts of the field, so wide midfielders, center midfielders, or forwards.
Barnett has his eyes on two players in particular, Kenrick Preston and Jamil Hardware of Bridgeport High, who took center stage in the Walker Cup final on Wednesday, albeit for a losing cause. Dravion Williams of dethroned Da Costa Cup champion St. Elizabeth Technical High School was also on show.
Well, as the conditions, you know, we're not so accustomed to the lighting, but we adapted to the condition, and we think that I think that myself, executed properly today, and because you know, the players were not so familiar with the players, so we just adapted and we just executed properly in which of the areas that we were playing at.
It's not just about football skills, though. The players will also have to fulfill requisite academic requirements to make the grade.
Thank you, Donald. Jamaica's Reggae Boys are leading Guyana by 1-0 at half-time in their final Group I game at the 2010 Digicel Caribbean Cup in Martinique. Dane Richards scored for the Jamaicans in the 43rd minute. The Reggae Boys, who have already qualified for the semi-finals, have made 6 changes to the team, which beat Guadeloupe 2-0 on Monday in their second game, with Captain Shavar Thomas and Rudolph Austin each serving a one-match ban because of yellow card accumulation. Goalkeeper Richard McCallum, Kenil Moody, Richard Edwards, Eric Vernon, Troy Smith and Ryan Johnson have all been injected into the starting lineup. The team is completed by Jermaine Taylor, Adrian Reed, Kemar Daly, Luton Shelton and Dane Richards. Monroe College booked their place in Friday's final of the Issa Buster Rural Area Under-16 football competition, following Tuesday's 3-2 sudden death penalty kick win over Manchester High at Brooks Park. The teams were locked at 0-0 after regulation and extra time, but Raya Sanga, Rayan Williams and Stefano Hines delivered from the spot to give the St. Elizabeth-based team a berth in the final.
It was a hard-fought game, between the two teams. We're defending champions, so we put in a defending champions effort, and the result is here for all to see,
Monroe will now face Green Pond, who got the better of Cornwall College in the other semi-final. Premier League outfit Portmore United booked their place in the quarter-finals of the Lyme St. Catherine FA Knockout after they tamed the Black Lions 3-1 on Tuesday. Portmore took the lead in the 23rd minute through an own goal. They then doubled their advantage courtesy of Tremaine Stewart on the stroke of half-time. Portmore then made the game safe in the 68th minute when Stephen Morrissey made it 3. Seymour Lewis then popped up to score a consolation for Black Lions in the 88th minute. Former national under-17 goalkeeper Sean Laws emerged as the inaugural winner of the Red Bull toe-to-toe national finals held at Barbican Football Field. Laws, who is currently a student at Quality Academics, topped the field of 320 ballers. Super League player Jamil Lewis and Tyrone Buddha were second and third respectively. Laws has won an all-expense-paid trip to meet Thierry Henry and Rafael Marquez of the New York Red Bulls and will attend the team's opening game in the 2011 season of the MLS. The rules of Red Bull toe-to-toe are simple. Games last up to 5 minutes or until one of the two players scores 3 goals, whichever happens first. The West Indies will begin day 2 of the third and deciding